Imagine if the real secret to getting more done was doing less. Not laziness, not procrastination, but intentional, powerful rest. In a world that celebrates hustle like a religion, what if everything you've been told about productivity is a lie? And what if the smartest, most successful people in history knew something we forgot? By the end of this video, you'll learn how to rest so well, it feels like a superpower. The lost art of rest. Not just for your body, but for your brain, your boundaries, your creativity, and your sanity. Let's dive into the lost art of doing less. Everywhere you look, someone is grinding, waking up at 4 a.m., stacking habits like Jenga blocks, running on 3 cups of coffee and a dream. It's like if you're not grinding 24/7, are you even trying? But here's the catch. Burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a warning sign. I only slept 4 hours last night, someone brags, sipping their 4th coffee of the morning, twitching like a squirrel on Red Bull. Yet most of us confuse exhaustion with achievement. We push ourselves to the brink, thinking rest is weakness. But what if rest isn't weakness? What if it's wisdom? I want you to understand one thing. Rest isn't a reward you earn after you've proved yourself. It's fuel. It's a right, and it's smart. And why rest, real rest, not doom scrolling or binge watching, is the secret weapon we've all been sleeping on. Here's the thing, there's a difference between rest and numbing. Scrolling on TikTok for 3 hours isn't rest. Binging Netflix isn't rest. They're distractions. They're cotton candy for the brain, sweet but empty. Rest is restoration. It's deliberate. It's proactive. It's the difference between drinking water and chugging soda because you're thirsty. One helps, the other tricks you. Your mind is like a browser with 37 tabs open. Sleep might close a few, but real rest hits shut down and restart. You don't just need more hours in bed, you need deeper mental decompression. Ask yourself this, do I feel more alive after this, or more empty? In ancient Greece, philosophers like Aristotle and Socrates believed that leisure, yes, leisure, free time, was the foundation of a good life. They called it schola, a time not of laziness but of reflection, art, study, and restoration. It was seen as essential for wisdom and innovation. Not a reward for work, but a prerequisite for it. Fast forward 2,000 years, and we call that same concept wasting time. But the truth is, the ancient world understood something we've buried under to-do lists. Doing less isn't falling behind, it's creating space for what matters. Now let's get into some brain science, but I promise no lab coats required. Your brain operates in rhythms. Focused work happens in what's called the task-positive network, but creativity, insight, and problem-solving, that happens in the default mode network, a state activated when your mind is at rest. Let's translate it. Your best ideas don't come when you're staring at the screen. They come when you're in the shower, or walking, or staring out the window like a weirdo. Mental exhaustion is not just about being tired, it's about never switching off the task-positive network. It's like keeping the car engine running 24/7 and wondering why it burns out. When you rest well, you give your mind the fuel and freedom to connect dots, process emotions, and actually solve problems better. Rest is not a break from progress. It is progress. Let's talk about hustle culture. The idea that if you're not grinding, you're not growing. It's seductive. It tells you that your worth comes from output, that if you're not doing more, you're lazy. But this is a lie sold by a culture obsessed with performance. You are not a machine. And even machines break when overused. The glorification of busy is modern-day madness. And here's the sad truth. Many people are overachieving because they're secretly afraid they're not enough. Burnout isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's what happens when your value as a human gets tied up in how many boxes you check off. You don't have to earn your rest. You were born deserving it. Here's where we flip the script. Instead of collapsing into rest when you're already burned out, what if you planned it like a pro athlete? Proactive rest isn't reactive. It's built into your life. It's how you stay emotionally regulated. It's how you maintain boundaries. It's how you keep your creativity alive instead of running on fumes. Books like Rest by Alex Pang explain how the most successful thinkers in history, from Darwin to Maya Angelou, built their genius not around constant work, but regular intentional breaks. Try this. Schedule, white space. No phone, no pressure. Just walking, journaling, breathing. That's not wasted time. That's where breakthroughs live. Now here's the good stuff. When you learn to rest, really rest, you unlock superpowers. Your creativity returns. Your emotions stabilize. You stop snapping at your cat. When your brain isn't juggling flaming swords, it starts to make new connections. Einstein took long walks to think. J.K. Rowling came up with Harry Potter on a delayed train. Creativity doesn't scream, it whispers. And rest is how you get quiet enough to hear it. Here's a simple exercise to try this week. Draw 2 columns. At the top of one, write restful. On the other, write numbing. Throughout the week, track what you do when you feel tired. Then ask yourself, did this actually make me feel better? That's how you start learning the difference between rest and relief. Some things to experiment with: walking without a podcast, lying on the floor with no agenda, reading something slow, staring out the window like a wise owl, talking to a friend with no outcome in mind. If it restores you, it's rest. If it numbs you temporarily, but you feel worse after, it's escape. In Japanese culture, there's a concept called ma, the space between things. In music, it's the pause between notes. In art, it's the space around the brushstroke. And in life, it's rest, not absence. Presence. Rest isn't nothing, it's something, a powerful sacred space where growth brews invisibly. What if you added some ma to your day? 5 minutes of slow breathing, a walk without your phone, staring out the window like a peaceful potato. That's not wasting time, that's meeting yourself. The old belief says, rest is laziness. Nah. The truth is, rest is preparation. It's healing, it's wisdom. Think of rest like pulling back a bow. It looks like you're going backward, but you're just storing power for the shot. Alright, so how do you actually rest? Here's the guide. Schedule white space into your day. Yes, literally schedule doing nothing. Protect it like a meeting with your favorite person, which is you. Practice sacred boredom. Let your mind wander. Don't reach for your phone in every quiet moment. Rest before you're tired. Proactive rest is like drinking water before you're thirsty. Yeah, you should drink some water now. It prevents the crash. Replace hustle with rhythm. Life isn't a race. It's a dance. And every dancer knows the beauty is in the pauses. Say no sometimes, not out of guilt, out of wisdom. Rest is how you remember who you are when the world forgets. Doing less is not giving up. It's showing up for yourself. Rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. You don't need to prove your worth by staying busy. You already have worth. In a world sprinting toward burnout, choosing to slow down is radical. It's powerful. It's where your clarity comes from. Your calm, your focus, your fire. So go ahead. Rest well, not just so you can work better, but because you deserve it. If this hit home for you, leave a comment below. I choose rest. Share this with a friend who needs to hear it. And if you want more videos, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.